Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. Today we're starting the second DLC section, the Abyss Forge. It's already loaded in, so we don't really need to hit A here and load it back in. It's been a very long time for me. It's probably been about a week and a half since I last played this game. I did think that perhaps I would take a very long break and not play the DLC for maybe a month or two, but this break that I ended up taking kind of had nothing to do with any desire to actually take a break. It has to do more with me just getting what I'm assuming was an ear infection and having a incredibly large amount of videos that were just not... Ooh. Well, I found a way to die real quick. So this is the corrupted water that we saw in that same area. So I'll have to be careful about where I go. Again, why does the corrupted water not have more of a nefariousness to it? Some kind of smoke or steam coming off of it would be helpful. Tentacles coming out of it would be thematically appropriate. So yeah, it's been a while, which is probably only going to benefit my experience. The problem with trying to retroactively say you should only play bits of, well, I clearly can't get up there, Darksiders, and then you should take a break and then you should come back, that just does not work in the main story of any game, really. That just doesn't really make sense. So there's only two places I can go, and one is blocked off, so that must be the final boss of this small section. This does look different. It looks like this could have been a southern portion of the Forge Lands, but that would have only made the Forge Lands bigger, and that's a problem, certainly. Even as it's being presented here, it's still effectively making the Forge Lands bigger and taking you further and further away from, oh yeah, this game is about the end of Earth, the apocalypse, and war and death. So we can't go through here. It's trying to, through level design, tell us that we've got to. We are going to have to go there eventually, but not quite yet. We're going to have to learn. And interestingly enough, it looks like you might be able to do, let's see, grip gun. Well, we don't have anything equipped, so it's almost pointless to have this equipped, but we'll do it anyways. Because doing this by quick key doesn't do anything. Interesting. That is not how the soul split has worked before. And I don't see a reason why it would work that way. That seems crazy. So this DLC has not shown me a character or given me any indication, any quest. Is there a quest, something? Like Abyss Forge, search the Shadowlands. This is just the beginning of the new game plus. So you're dying rather fast. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be telling people please subscribe and click the notification bell too, so please do that. Yeah. So this is going to be a full puzzle, I think, built around Soul Split, which gives me the idea that we are going to probably do this whole DLC around that, which means this probably would have been a level that would have been given to you right after you got Soul Split. And that doesn't make enough sense because you got Soul Split in the final form of the main game in the Land of the Dead. So you're effectively, the way this would have played out is, had this been just integrated into the main game, boy does this little edge not need to be there. You would have gotten the Soul Split ability, seen this section, this entire land, and known it was there, but also have been clearly told that you couldn't enter this area, and then you would have had to return to the Forge Lands after the midway point, I would say, of the Land of the Dead. That certainly would have made a lot more sense had there not been a Land of the Dead section, and instead only been, well, not a, I would have preferred, let me say this correctly, I would have preferred if there was no Forge Land section and the entire game started in the Land of the Dead and spent most of its time in the Land of the Dead, which would make a lot of sense for Death. So the camera's not telling me directly what I'm supposed to be doing, but I mean, I'm gonna get a little wobbly, am I not? So, like, that whole hallway is clearly there to lock us into it. Of course, this is the standard trick of just doing this and then coming over here and then doing this and then rolling forward. Maybe not. That seems like that happened really fast, so let's see if perhaps the intention is something different, or perhaps my fingers are just not warmed up. Alright, so that was just barely close enough to get to this point. Okay. And so what's over here? Well, I guess I have to come out of my soul form and then in some way probably have to split myself over on this. Now, it is very questionable to me whether there actually is enough room for a decent number of puzzles for Soul Split. Certainly it wasn't used to its fullest potential in the main game, but the main game just had way too much to begin with. Let's see. And I'm not seeing any power stones. I bet there aren't any. And if there were any, I mean, then you'd be in a kind of different position. All the power stones have to be in the main game. So at best, there might be a few little unimportant loot chests that will give us random loot. Here, the ball is getting stuck on the 3D geometry. And this raises a bridge. And unlike the other DLC, I've yet to see a shopkeeper. So is this DLC just going to give me is it only going to give me gold and health? Or are we going to run into Virgil? Even if we do run into Virgil, that's not a good enough shopkeeper as a character.
A visitor. I'm afraid my home is quite a mess.
Very odd to introduce a new character.
Oh, how rude of me. I am a smith, a visionary architect, sculptor, creator of the masterpiece that resides in this realm. And you must be an agent of the makers. They trapped me here for thousands of years. Now they think my death will ease their guilt. They are not forgiven.
So it's a mad smith. Let's go ahead and hit this guy. We don't have our ultimate form. Do I think that there's something special I'm supposed to be doing here or not? Well, let's start with this. Why is that equipped? Well, that worked very well, but that is not what I intended to do. Like, I intended instead to I totally intended to use this exhume, so I guess I'll equip it to that. Let's go out and watch how these guys mash on this guy. Well, meanwhile I'll try to gain some more ground. This will probably kill him. It's nice whenever you can get a fight like this that doesn't really require any of that Nintendo style figure out the pattern stuff. So they give him lines of dialogue.
Wait, please. You must wait. You attacked
And
Smith.
I figured he was
Blinded you. Mad am I? You... Now, let us not be ruled by our baser instincts. We can help each other. Answer my questions and I will stay my hand. I won't ask again. Where are we? This is the Shadowlands. The void between the Tree of Life and the Tree of Death. It's a rather pleasant place for a visit, is it not? Or an eon of imprisonment, as it were? You're such a genius. Why haven't you escaped? Transportation is no obstacle for a smith such as myself. But the makers have sealed the portal. Or so I had thought. The power of corruption has broken the lock of your prison. But how? I don't... Oh, gods, what will it do? Wait! Don't leave! You have to help me. Why? My masterpiece! It threatens countless worlds! The Abyssal Forge is a sentient being of living stone, and it is clad in an implacable army. If the portal seal is unlocked, creations of the Abyssal Forge will invade other realms. How is this any of my concern? Ah, you don't understand. I crafted the Abyssal Forge to harness the power of the Abyss. It lives, it breathes, it creates constructs that can then build yet more Abyssal Forges. But, well, unlike myself, the Abyssal Forge...
His weapon is like a giant pair of tongs with a rivet.
Everything in their path. You should not have meddled with the powers of the Abyss. You must unmake this. I have tried, yet I cannot. Damn you. What must be done then? First, you must escape this island. The waters here are deadly to your living flesh. However, I can make a talisman to shield you. But first, you must bring me the right materials.
So this is going to be our main character we deal with. And it seems pretty obvious that this could have been put right in the game after you left the Land of the Dead. And before you reached, I guess, Lost Light. For time's sake, I suppose, we'll just buy a bunch of Wrath Potions and a bunch of other things, and I don't even think I really have any reason why I'd want to, like, I don't think I'd want to purchase or go through any of our inventory right now. Did he give me enough of a quest explanation? Let's come back this way. Or do I need to go talk to him again? Sure seems like I guess I have to go this way. So, like the previous DLC, it is seemingly built around the same concept of you start with a central location, although in this case the central location is a little bit further away from where you started. Go through 3 small sections and then you'll be done. And here we have this item, which, like, I guess we'll get a gift from this mad guy later after we played the whole game. I probably wouldn't fully appreciate getting stuck in this DLC if that was the intention originally, in between the end of the Land of the Dead and the beginning of Lost Light. I think there's at least very specific points where that would not be what I would want. Do I have a way of killing these? Or, so I'm gonna go ahead and equip like this and this. Even though we probably will use Soul Split a lot, I don't think it's worth having on your equipment menu. This is certainly the time in which DLC was a new concept, and you much more than now have the feeling that this content actually wasn't finished by the time the game was released and had gone gold and gone through all the quality testing and everything required to release on a console. Whereas nowadays, DLC release times, all of that is such a planned and scheduled thing that you fairly well can feel, whether it's true or not, that the collect chaos ore. All right, you really feel like it was definitely some bits of DLC are held back. If this was held back, it's almost better to say it was held back for editorial decisions than for actual monetization decisions. Because frankly, the game does kind of benefit from having a little bit less content, a little bit less grinding. But you could certainly speed up this game, and that's what's one of the main problems with the Definitive Edition is they said they changed the gameplay flow. I disagree that they did a good enough job on it. So these guys are... wow. How am I getting experience at all from killing those things? Like, one-hit kills probably should be the way things are going right now. And I'm not just talking about one-hit kills for these insects, but one-hit kills should be the main gameplay for every kind of enemy we run into. Let's just quickly look and make sure we know what we're doing. Be nice if we could find a dungeon map. Nope, fell to my death. So no fancy jumping at all in this area. Like, boy, is that kind of a cause for alarm. And in a weird way, well, the Chaos Core didn't seem to save. The loot chest, which is apparently the more important thing, did save. Which also means that these assignments didn't save. So there we go. But if we look at the map, oh no, the chest didn't save either. Alright. So I'm fully wasting my time. We could look at my experience bar. It is rather high up there. So maybe I got a bunch of experience at the end of the last DLC that would explain that. Maybe they wanted to make, maybe I just got in a weird position with that. That being said, New Game Plus certainly doesn't have me where I think I should be, since it seems like there's a max level of 60. I still think I am only approaching level 24, 25. Yeah, if they sped up the one-hit kills, if you might even want to give Dust the ability to shoot things around him. So it would be a cool new feature to add, to have it where you bang, 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 and it just auto locks onto all the non-enemy combatants in the room when there's not in a fight stance or fight sequence. And if you are in a fight sequence, I imagine it probably would auto lock anyways. Now this is locked, and it's kind of hard to see in that. And this is locked. And so this is going to be a soul split. And so one of us is going down this way. So stand on this. And then this one I think is probably going down this way to see what this is. So apparently I'm going to ramp an energy ball up all the way. But first things first, if I don't have a way to explode this, let's try this. That worked. And the new ball just either dropped from nowhere or it bounced off this hidden invisible wall. Like, we saw a lot of this ball stuff when we were playing the Forge Lands, and frankly, it's basically content that shouldn't exist in this game. Feels like it would be better suited in a different game, particularly since you moved it away now from being a Zelda-esque adventure game into being a loot-based RPG. The focus now should be at 100% of the time loot actions that would end in you having loot. The control's still a little too wonky, and I suppose we should just go ahead and end our soul split there and go this way. No telling if I'm really going the right direction or not. Seems like we're, for the most part, just going to map out some sections. Find some bridges we can lift to make shortcuts. I wouldn't be surprised if we, in the process of going down this way, we don't actually ever come back to that shortcut. It doesn't seem like their level design is that great. And so these are the Abysmal Forges, or the Abysmal Guardians. A threat like corruption, but not corruption. We'll just see how well this works, and how many hits this really takes. Yeah, if I could make a definitive edition of this game, I would rewrite it so that there was twice as many interactions with the enemies. Every hallway in which there wasn't at least one thing to kill would have something to kill. Even if it's just a goofy equivalent of the weakest enemy in the game. I wouldn't want a single room that's a hallway to be empty. Even the puzzle rooms could have small minor annoyance characters in them. As long as they're not infinitely spawning, I'm fine with that. And it doesn't seem like there's anything more to do. Another chaos core, and once we get the medallion to fight, which who knows what medallion I even have equipped right now. There, we leveled up again. Let's see, do we have any weapons that would be possessed or increase our experience in any way? No. And do we have the Horde Seeker equipped, or do we have... Yeah, we have the plus 8% experience equipped, so we're not really even looking for that. And then our quests right now are get 4 more chaos cores. We can see that we're gonna come back here and get a chest. Seems like it's pretty obvious that we'll go down this way and then come back this way, and that might very well approach the end. I suppose once we get the medallion we could also run down this long tunnel, and that might be a boss fight too. And once we have that medallion incomplete, we'll run over and do that too. In the first DLC we had a bit of a cave area where it really was just running down a cave and attacking enemies. I'm not sure we're gonna have something like that in this case. I guess I was wrong. They're better at level layout than I thought. Well, that's gonna be it for this recording. It's been almost 30 minutes on the dot. And current game time, it says 2 hours, but I guess what we would take from that is that the current game time is the new game plus, and we've spent an hour and a half on the previous DLC, and we spent 30 minutes on this DLC. I guess that makes sense for it to be at 2 hours. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. When you subscribe, please click the notification bell. It seems like that's mandatory nowadays. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. You probably should do that too in case YouTube desubscribes you. And if you want to support me even further than doing all of that, friend me on Steam and gift me a game. That's very helpful, gives me more games to cover. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.